This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. In the house, we got No Sweat Serg, JC Dynasty Fantasy Football, and we got Stevie-B, Stevie Batista from the No Water in the Weekend Pod. What is up, fellas?
How's it going?
Not much, just it's another beautiful Monday episode coming out Tuesday. So, yeah.
Oh, it's Tuesday now for you guys? Are you pushing it to Tuesdays now?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So,
yeah.
We did have a guest though, but yeah.
I heard you did very well. You got great reviews from your podcast co-host who gave you some flowers. He praised you.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad I get recognized for something for sometime.
He didn't say there was roses.
Yeah, I'll take roses.
He said, I'll take them dandelions and weeds.
Yeah. I actually, if you don't see this now, I got a New Jersey.
Yeah, we see
that
it.
is nice.
Yeah, got a New Jersey.
Yeah, look at you.
Oh, feel fresh.
So we got so I've been doing some YouTubing, and I figured out how to use StreamYard a little bit better. So you see the flyer, the thumbnail for the YouTube behind all the fellas there. So I'm using that. We got a new format up there, and I'm learning, boys. I'm learning. Every time I can, I get on YouTube and learn some new things for streaming, to make the podcast better, how to edit video. I'm doing all that stuff, man. So I hope you guys enjoy whoever's watching, and if you're listening, go over to YouTube and watch the podcast. It's a lot better with our faces on it. We got good faces. No one got a face for radio here.
My mom said I got a face only she loves. So I literally got that text message. She's like, "You got a face only I love." And I was like, "Ugh, you don't know that's an insult, Mama." Damn.
All right, Serge, just make sure you stay in frame. I think you're a little to the left. There we go. No,
we got to do the cha-cha slide in here.
Yeah, you got to do cha-cha slide to the left, slide to the right. That's right. You got to do all that. So episode 183, Cody F'N Bellinger is brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago. Use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. And like I said, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button.
Smash.
That's right. Smash it, baby. Give us 5 stars on your listening app of choice. And write us reviews. That'll shoot us up on the charts. We're doing very well. I shared the stats with the boys a couple weeks ago. We're doing very well. And that's all thanks to everybody that is listening and everybody that's watching. We thank you. We do this for you. So continue to support us. And if you want to continue to support us with the show with the monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans, go over there and click on the support, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. You spend more on that on your Dunkin' Donuts, your Starbucks, your energy drink, or whatever bad habits you have, Steve.
Inflation.
Yeah. Don't be cutting in on the budget. So I need my Boston cream.
That's true. I do. They're delicious.
Yeah. Before we get into it, since we're talking Dunkin' Donuts here really quick, what is your Dunkin' Donuts order?
Usually it's cold brew black tall or small, and maybe the wake up wraps. So like with the egg and then bacon on the inside with some cheese, and that's it.
Is that a coffee?
Or I'll take a Boston cream donut too.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
JC, what's your order?
Let me get a 50 of the munchkins, and then
and a giant glass of milk that.
It's been a while since I've done it. And then I am not a coffee guy, surprisingly. So usually I will do like what is it, the watermelon and strawberry, whatever they call them, the cooler or refresher. Yeah. So usually that's my order, is like I said.
That's good on Friday mornings. Yeah.
They're great in the summer, man. And then like I said, you slip a little alcohol. We're good.
Second.
Yeah. Hey, you like it. I love it.
I love the Munchkins. I hate glaze and I hate the chocolate from the Munchkins, but everything else I can do. I like the blueberry donut. I like the apple fritter, and I like Boston cream. But I don't do their coffees. I'm not a coffee
Not a
person.
coffee
I
person.
got to get my Starbucks, brother. I got them quad shots. I need it. I need coffee, especially driving in Denver traffic. I'm good.
Oh, come on. It's not worse than Chicago traffic.
We got California drivers over here.
That's I usually get I believe it's a croissant and it's stuffed with cheese and ham.
Only
And then-
just order.
Yeah, so that's usually what I get in the morning because I already have my energy drink, my natural energy drink with me. And I take that and I go on the desk, I open that bad boy up. It's nice and crispy, and I put some tapatio all over that baby.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds good.
That's how you wake up with some
runs
hot
after
sauce.
tapatio.
Oh, man,
Tapatio in energy drink. I'm like, boss, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hey, it's right next to my office. I'm good. I'm good.
Let me take my laptop with me to the washroom.
I even bring my own roll of Charmin with me. All right, boys. In this live episode, we you're all here, and the Cubs finally signed their man after we've been pleading for so long. Cody F'N Bellinger is back. We break down the signing and look at the Cubs roster going forward this season. We celebrate a Hawks legend getting his jersey retired on the West Side, but it was spoiled by a familiar name. We got all that plus stirring the pot and more. We're going to keep it simple today. It is a Cubs-centric podcast, but it is time. It is definitely time to talk some Cubs news.
Oh yeah.
The Cubs are gonna win today. They're singing so.
Oh no.
All right, boys. Bellinger is finally a Cub, but did you know that it wasn't Jeff Passan or any of those big names on Twitter, any of the big insiders? They weren't the first to get the scoop on this signing. It was a fan named Lisa. She scooped everybody in the world and reporting the agreement 3 days earlier on Twitter. The lifelong Cubs fan appeared on Sirius XM's MLB Network Radio this past Sunday in the afternoon to explain how she got the goods on the story. So listen to this, boys.
Yeah, I was at work stressing out on my computer, and I got a text from a group. Some of my best friends have been Cubs fans forever, and we go to every opening game together. And so we have a text thread that's really kind of crazy. And so I get this text from my girlfriend, shout out to Jen and her dad, Tom. And she said, hey, we heard that Bellinger signed with the Cubs, but we heard that it was a 3-year deal for $100 million. And so right away, I stepped back from what I was doing at the computer, and I just kind of Googled it, and I didn't see anything. And then I grabbed my phone and looked on social media. I didn't see anything. And I know that Joe from Obvious Shirts, he's amazing. And I know he kind of has sometimes the inside scoop. So I thought, you know what? He posted about the opening spring training game, so I'm going to just ask, see if he knew anything about it. And the next thing I know, later on that day after work, I went for a walk to de-stress, and my watch was kind of, beeping all the time. And I thought, wow, did I, meet that goal already, my steps? And I glanced down and I saw it was Twitter, and I thought, oh, that's odd. And then I kept walking, and my phone kept blowing up and my watch kept blowing up. I thought maybe I should take a look at this. And then I saw that Joe had, retweeted my comment. And so there's one thing I do know is that the Cubs Nation is very passionate about the Cubs and baseball, and we are really, really hopeful for that Cubs 4. And so, it just kind of took off.
What you think about that, boys?
She is not wrong. We were excited, but she got the goods there in gossip time. I mean, that is actually really interesting.
Twitter's the way to go, man. Everybody knows that. That's where you get your breaking news. That's where you can, find guests. That's where you can figure out who's getting signed when. I mean, I know there was stories of someone's mother liking some pizza and some radio host making that connection and, you know, all this and that. But it was a normal fan who made the call, and Jeff Passan actually gave her credit and said Lisa was right. So, I mean, that is pretty awesome.
I'm just glad it wasn't like not at the nail salon or something like that. Hey, you heard, girl?
But was she really right?
3 years, 100 million, she was off 20 million, but she got the signing right.
Yeah, she did. She was almost on point.
I could have threw something out on Twitter that day claiming 3 years, 100 million. Doesn't mean I'm right. You know, like I said, to me, like I said, fine, great. We can give credit where credit's due, but like I said, I mean, to me,
hey, JC,
you know,
even a broken clock is right twice a day. So
exactly,
give her credit.
You know,
She gets some roses that we wasn't gonna get Steve.
Yeah, I mean, for someone who's getting roses apparently on this show, you know, I thought it was pretty cool. It's nice for a fan to break the news. I mean, being from Chicago and stuff like that, and she's being a fan, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes,
but at the same time, shouldn't she give credit to her friend who broke the news to her?
Yeah, she did. She mentioned it.
Okay,
she said her and her dad. Right? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, she told her dad, but she got the call from her friend, right? So, I mean, we got that. So we got Israel back. Israel's back. He missed last week, and he's back this week. So before we get to Israel, what's our reaction to Bellinger getting signed?
About time.
We didn't get robbed. We didn't get robbed. We didn't give Boris what the hell he wanted, because that fool wanted, you know, a ton of years or whatever. We actually kept it so simple. We didn't want to make the same mistake we made with Hayward, to my knowledge. We gave Hayward like 7 years. It was just like some
149 million or something
crazy contract, and we really said we're gonna play chicken with this fool. So we're gonna say we're gonna wait till everybody puts their offer on the table. Nobody did, and he just said we're gonna have to take what they're giving us. Boris just tried to bull us. He tried to bully us into something we were not gonna agree with, no matter what.
It sounds like you're not a Boris fan, and to be honest with you, he's doing his job. That is his job, to maximize the money for his clients, because that's how he gets paid.
You know what? I'm not mad at him, because if he was I would want him to be a bull too. But here it is I'm still a Cubs fan. So now you trying to bully my team into paying this guy all this money. So it's a catch-22. It's a double-edged sword. You know, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because if we would have paid Ohtani all that money to come over here and do what he needed to do, we would have all been.
You would have no money left.
Right. We would have been, oh yeah, we got him. Oh, we didn't defer. Okay. But my point is that we didn't pay him all the money he wanted. We didn't bend. And we didn't even bend over a little bit. We didn't give him a peek. You know what I'm saying? We didn't take it this time. They did what we wanted him to do. The only thing I noticed is, and my son and I were talking, I always say this every show, don't I? My son and I were talking. All right.
Give him the credit. Give him the credit.
That's gonna be my next podcast. My son and I were talking. All right. It should be a book. It should be a book.
There you go.
I need to write a movie. But here we go. When we were talking, he does have the player option. So after the year, like if he does really well this year, we're gonna have to pay this man, right? Someone's gonna pay him, because that'll be 2 consistent years in a row that he's done really well. So
yeah, Bellinger is agreeing with the Cubs, right, for $80 million 3-year contract. He can opt out of the deal after each of the first 2 seasons. So it is 30 million. He can opt out. If not, it's another 30 million. He can opt out. If not, it's 20 in the last year of his contract. So he's not going to take a pay cut. He probably will opt out unless he has a bad second season. So it is a bunch of 1-year contracts bundled together, essentially. That's pretty much what it is. And I know Israel, give us a second. We'll get to you in a second, because you got some good points there. But for me, this guy's going to hit no more than 25 home runs this season. He doesn't have the protection in the lineup. If he can stay healthy on a consistent basis, remember that he'll be platooning between center, right, and first base.
First base, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's not going to play first base initially, because you have Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger, Morel, Swanson, Bush, Horner, Wisdom, and Gomes. That's your starting lineup.
I would say I would put Nick Madrigal.
Where? Where?
I mean, at third base, but I mean, Christopher
Morel?
Morel is doing really
Morel-
well. Hold on,
Morel's
let me
monster.
finish. Hold on,
Let him get that thought
I'm not even
across.
a Cubs fan, but I'm a fan of
I'm
Morel.
just saying Christopher is playing really well, but right now, like it looks, that's what they slated for Nick Magical to play third. But Chris could have, could play better. So it's up in the air. I mean, I'm all for everything. I mean, Morel, he's like my hero. He took a game and won me $65 from the White Sox. So, I got to roll with him. But my point being is, again, what you guys are saying, it's not a bad deal for either side, honestly, because Bellinger gets what he wants and the Cubs will get what they want. And I mean, everyone in the club, all the players are happy to have him on the team.
Yeah.
They're doing interviews saying that they're glad to have him back. The energy is there. He's a great.
They're all saying all the right political things. Here's the thing that we all have to remember. Because, a lot of these stars come into their first year of their contracts, right? Remember, he's year to year now, right? It keeps him honest at the damn plate. It keeps him honest to do what he needs to do to earn that $200 million contract that he is seeking. And that's what everybody fails to realize. It's going to keep him honest another year. So we're going to get the most that we can get unless he gets hurt. That's what it barrels down to, and I'm so excited about that. Like, we didn't really give him what he wanted, because this is not, both sides did not get what they wanted. He wanted a long-term contract. He wanted more money, but this keeps him honest that, okay, we'll just pay you year to year. We'll give you $30 million this year. If you play really well, we might go, you opt out, then we might pay you, some more money, or you find another team that's willing to give you the $200 million. So it keeps him honest at the plate. It keeps him honest on that field.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's not a bad deal for either side. I think both of them come out winning. I think everyone got pretty much the same outcome, and he's on the team, and it's exciting. And I'll give an example. Fowler came back in 2016
On the same date.
On the same date, and history tends to repeat itself, gentlemen. So. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. So
I put that post up, and somebody said that we're ignorant for putting that up there. I'm like, how's that ignorant? That's wishful thinking. Leave us alone. Let us live a little bit. Like, Dexter Fowler was signed February 25th, 2016, right? So look at this guy. He just did the same thing. And so I put that up there, and he's like, you're ignorant for putting that up there. How am I ignorant? It's just two coincidences that could possibly happen this year. Leave me alone.
It's two facts.
Yeah, just leave me alone. Let me live a little dream. You know what I'm saying?
JC, how do you feel, buddy?
Sorry.
I'm just sitting here looking up some stats and some different stuff while you guys are chit-chatting along.
Gossiping a little bit.
Yeah,
painting our nails
I'm
over
just
here.
doing the research on the end of everything. So
get animated.
Continue along. Everything's going great with you guys.
It's animation time, because when you think about it, and like I said, a lot of these players just tend to sit on their hands for the first couple of seasons, right? And then all of a sudden, when it's time to go ahead and re-up that contract, they're playing like all-stars again. And it's just like, whoa, where is this coming from? Mm-hmm. So I actually like, and Steve is right. We definitely got what we wanted. The Cubs organization got what they wanted. They're not going to overpay, and we're not looking at another Hayward contract.
Yeah, I think it's a great compromise for both sides. He gets his money up front, but also, like you said, Serg, that it keeps him honest, because they are a series of 1-year deals. So if you produce, you get your other $30 million. Produce again, you can opt out and get another whatever you want. But at that point, I really think by the third year, the Cubs will be like, we'll see you later, but thank you. We had enough. The young kids that we've been developing are ready to go. That's what I think is going to happen. You're here for the hard stuff right now, and then when the kids are ready, we'll replace you, and we'll go cheaper, and we'll do a lot better. So I really think that's going to be the idea of what they have going on there. Yep. Before sorry, Steven, we got Israel chiming in. So he had a couple of points here. What other free agents? Oh, first let me go all the way back, because he started with some funny stuff. He said, can we sign Patrick Wisdom to a 5-year contract extension, for $230 million?
Negative. Next.
I don't think so.
And I replied to him, that's funny. What are you drinking, brother? And share some of that, because you've been dipping into the cabinet a little bit too much.
He must have saw his good games.
I don't even see
All
him.
3 of them?
on the starting lineup. To be honest with you, I think he's a player that comes in, fills in on the off days right now.
Yeah, he is a platoon guy. He's off the bench guy.
That
He
is
will
true.
spell your
Right.
guys at third. He can spell at first. I think he plays a little off field. Israel also came up with a serious note. It says, what are the Cubs going to do with I believe it's Matt Chapman. He's 31 with a 7.6 WAR. He is a third baseman. He's a little older. I just feel right now that they have enough players that can be shifted around to different positions, including the DH, that Matt Chapman would be a great addition, but it will also subtract from the development of the young guys. Right now, you have Morel at third, learning a new position because they need his bat and they can't put him anywhere else. So we need his bat. We don't want to put him at DH because he's a young kid. You don't want to ruin him. So I think that's an internal fight that you have. Do I get some guy that's 31 that can be possibly hurt most of the year, but is a good bat, a good guy in the clubhouse, a good bat? You also have an outfielder by the name of, where did I have it? Let's see, left field or right field?
Well, you have Suzuki and you have Ian Happ too.
Yeah, and I don't see Ian Happ going anywhere. Suzuki is decent in the outfield.
I mean, he stole a home run from the White Sox this year or last year. So, you know.
Dude, everybody stole a home run from the White Sox.
Yeah,
This
and
is not a
you
White
still have
Sox
the
show.
young guys like
This is
Pico
a Cubs
Armstrong.
show.
I know, but I'm just saying highlights for the Cubs on the show. I'm just giving you a scenario, which is a highlight that happened.
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
go ahead.
you still have the young guys like Pico Armstrong coming
He
up
won't be.
and stuff like
He'll be in
that.
Iowa. He'll be in.
He'll be in Iowa. He has to hit. He can't hit.
Came up for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but at some point, like even at the end of the year, you know they're going to call him up to give him more time in the majors, just like they did last year. You know, when they expand the roster at the end of the year.
Yeah, I do see him coming up if there's an injury, but he does need to get his 200 at bats in the minor leagues for another season. Get him more season. Let it marinate a little bit. Israel also brought up JD Martinez, a power bat as a designated hitter. I think JD Martinez would be a great addition, but it's not for the Cubs because they are not in the championship window. Like if you would go to the Orioles, you know, the Orioles are ready to win at this point. The Dodgers are ready to win. Atlanta ready to win. You go for those teams that, you know, you just need that cherry on top where he doesn't have to play every day. He's a DH and he can, you know, swing the stick a little bit.
That's fair.
Well, I understand. I'm waiting for Steven to say something.
No, I'm just saying that the Orioles, I don't know. I think they're a great team. I see they're close there. I don't think they're actually, they're a playoff team, of course, but I don't see them winning the World Series this year. That's
You don't see who went in the World Series? Who?
Baltimore.
Baltimore is a threat. They came.
I mean, they're a great team. I'm not saying that they're not. They got talent and they're a playoff team, but
I think they came up a year too early. Now that the Yankees should be healthy, they have a great roster as well. I don't see Toronto as a threat in the East.
Neither. And then the Red Sox are not doing so well.
You know, the Red Sox are not. No, they're not a threat. And,
no, it sucks, but it's the truth.
Tampa's there every year, so Tampa's always a threat. So whatever.
I mean, they started off hot last year. There was a 22-6.
Mm-hmm.
They had the best record, and then it went all downhill from there after pretty much the All-Star break.
Yeah, so I mean, there's teams that go on runs early, and unfortunately, it's when you get hot. It's at the end of the year is when it's the most important. Is when you should get
June,
hot.
July,
Yeah, you can tell like right around All-Star weekend. You know,
Mhm.
when they're doing their thing, and then all of a sudden that's the thing with the White Sox when they didn't do nothing at the beginning, but all of a sudden they caught fire right at the right time, and then they ran off all the way through September, all the way into October. So they did really well, and it was the White Sox, right? Doing 20
2-game losing streak.
No.
2-game losing streak. Oh boy.
They did really well. No.
We
I
went
ain't
11
a
and
fan of the
playoffs.
White Sox, but you know,
11 won the playoffs.
took off.
Yes.
They took off.
Yeah,
like
they
right around the All-Star. It was weird. It was like
they
they ain't
struggled.
gonna win no more. They ain't
They
gonna win no
struggled
more.
in August, but they never gave up first place that season. They ran it wire to wire,
Yeah.
which is something very hard to do, and I don't think a team's going to be able to do that again. But if we're looking at the Cubs lineup with Hap at start leading off, you got Suzuki at the 2 spot, Bellinger at the 3, Morel at the 4, Swanson and 5. So 4 and 5 I think they can swap out depending on who's hot, Morel, Swanson. Is it Kyle Busch, the race car driver, playing first now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I would have Morel at 3, and in my opinion, or Swanson at 3.
I would have Swanson at 3 and Bellinger at 4 and Morel at 5. But
yeah, I would do that too. I like that one too. Yeah,
that's how I like. I mean, Bush, Horner, Wisdom, and Gomes. Those, I mean, they're just placeholders before the kids come up. I don't see anything really crazy about these guys right here.
I mean, Jan Gomes did really well last year.
He's a good catcher. He's a good clubhouse guy. His bat is just not not an all-star bat. I feel like if we get an all-star bat behind the plate that can catch a game, look out.
Like Contreras was. So
Contreras has fallen from grace.
Well, yeah, because he left and went to a different rivalry.
He sucked the year before he left too.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
Unfortunately, he always got flack for what he did behind the plate, even from a lot of the starting pitchers that he worked with. They didn't really care for the way he called the game. So, like I said, maybe Jan Gomes is way better at calling a game. So
I would concur on that.
I'm reading an article on Sports Illustrated by Brad Okai. If I said that correctly, I apologize if I didn't say it correctly. But he's throwing some names out there that the Cubs should be interested still, because they're not, according to him, they're not done.
I don't think they're done either. I don't think they're done. I think they're waiting to get the guys that they want at the price that they want, and they're sticking to that. And you can't fault them for that. No one else is signing these guys, so we'll wait till your price comes down.
Exactly. But the name that I thought was interesting was Blake Snell.
Is he still available? I mean, this
was put up an hour ago, so it looks like he's still available. If I'm reading this correctly, this is Sports Illustrated, Brad Wakai, and he said it an hour ago.
Blake Snell is still available. Yeah, and so does Jordan Montgomery, who's also a pretty good pitcher as well, pitched for the Rangers. Both of those pitchers, I believe, are Boris's clients, so that might be the holdup there. Yeah, and it's not like you're not going to tell.
Hold on. Where's the bleep? Boris. Yeah. Boris, this guy. But yeah, because he's throwing some right now. I thought Hector Neris was still with us, and it looks like he's available too. So we haven't signed him back.
There is a plethora of pitchers still available. Yeah. If I look at, to be honest with you, you can probably get Mike Clevenger for super cheap, and he pitched very well for us. You put him at the 5, no pressure. This guy eat up innings. He looks like he just fell out of the trailer park, but the kid can pitch. He's drinking that Busch Light and falling out, but you know what? The kid can pitch. You also have Michael Lorenzen. You don't want to do Zach Greinke. He's over. He's done. But Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell, you'll get Montgomery for cheaper than Snell.
Can we go back to Mr. Cy Young that's willing to take a league minimum?
Yeah, Bauer. Take a flyer on Bauer.
But why is nobody else picking him up?
Well, he had the off-field issues, and that was all settled and done with. But it's still going to bring some bad PR to the team, and
do they want to have that kind of dude who's arrogant and all about himself, as a reputation for all about himself, to come on a young team and sour the young team?
I don't think so.
But I hate this term, but he'll be the locker room.
Listen, if he has admitted to himself that he may need to take a league minimum to even make it back into the league, hopefully some of that diva drama has been washed away from himself, and he is a little more humble now than he used to be. Because again, when you go through a situation like that, whether or not you were found guilty or not, that tends to bring a level head, and like I said, your future, your money, because again, he paid for all of his lawyers and everything by himself. So he admittedly said on I forget if it was Club Shay Shay or what podcast he was on, but he basically said, like, my war chest has been depleted by having to pay all these lawyers for 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, all for this to disappear,
So
because
you're basically saying he's humbling himself, and he'll go ahead and
he basically said, he's like, I just want a chance to get my foot back in the door, to prove that I can still pitch. He goes, I'll come in on a 1 year prove it deal, and then next year if I can cash in, great. Which for the Cubs, for a 1 year prove it deal, why not?
I think that is a great gamble to have, and you made a lot of good points, JC. Having a veteran manager makes a big difference in this scenario.
Yeah.
You have Craig Counsell, who is nobody to be effed with. He can manage that type of personality and make sure that he stays humble for the rest of the season. I think it's a great move.
But again, at league minimum, even if you cut him, like
say
halfway through the year he starts being a diva again, just be like, dude, you're ruining the locker room. Take a hike.
What's the league minimum? 2 million?
Or if he's doing
2 million.
I can't remember if it was 560 or 750. I can pull that up.
Or even better, if he's doing well by trade deadline,
boom.
Hey, we'll take some
right.
drafts.
You know what? I didn't think about it that way. You're all right. And for him to come back and with his tail between his legs and be humbled.
Because like I said, if he's the number 5 guy in a rotation, but he's sitting there outplaying himself, and like I said, come trade deadline,
that's
like I said, for a guy on a league minimum, what team is not going to trade for him?
Yeah, it's 740.
Somebody's going to give up some sort of prospect on a guy on a league minimum that can come into a team, and it's going to cost them nothing by the time that paycheck comes along. Because what's league minimum, like 1.4 million? Or
that's what I was just asking.
740,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was just asking. And he was
even if you doubled it and paid him 1.4 million, if he outplays that contract, what team would not trade for him at trade deadline?
Yeah, that's fair.
Understood.
They'll pick up the rest. You know who I'm interested in, and I'm trying to figure out why is he still on the team? And I like him. Don't get it twisted, but he's been on the team for a very long time. It's Hendricks. Like, he's really not playing that well for me, in my eyes. What do you think, Steven?
Hendricks is that veteran in the locker room, so
he's the last bit of piece of 2016, which I get to, but yeah, I mean, he's not the first guy to go with, right? He'll probably be like the 4th. He could eat up innings. He could probably do maybe 4 or 5, if that, on a good day.
Yeah, because Smiley and Steele is going to go ahead of him.
Yeah, and even Jordan Wicks, I think, a guy who didn't do so well the first game, but I mean, it's spring training, get out the rust. But I think that kid's going to do really well. Steele, do really well. And I think Hendricks has, could teach them, calm them down, or talk to them and be a leader for the pitching group. So I'm okay with it. I know it's not like a major deal contract, but I'm glad he's still on the team. Mentor. It's kind of like an older Mark Pryor kind of situation.
Not for that price.
He's a relief pitcher at best. Yeah, he's a relief pitcher at best.
It's
how much is he at?
16.5. That's a lot of money to pay for a mentor. I'm sorry.
How many years?
My kids for how many years, and I'm not getting anything like that.
What? It's 3.
So he's got this year and next year.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was in 2019, so I believe this is his last year.
Okay, so there you go.
Goodbye,
so yeah, I was gonna say, if it's only 1 year,
goodbye,
and most likely, like I said, by trade deadline, who knows if he'll be on the team.
And watch him play well.
And the thing is that the club exercised this option. It wasn't Hendricks. The club exercised the option.
Yeah, watch him play well.
Like I said, I mean, because we discussed this, was it last week or the week before? Hendricks, again, he is not a velocity guy. He is so there is something that he can bring to the table, that he can coach and teach these young guys about how to place a ball, how to, work the zone rather than, just relying on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So like I said, there is something that he can bring to the table,
Right.
and still share in, whatever. Again, 16.5 million, maybe that's a little expensive, but at the same time, we are putting together something, and you want some continuity, and unfortunately this will be probably his last year. So,
it will be his last year. It will be his last year. I mean, he did have a good bounce back year last year with 24 games played, 6-8 with a 1.2 WHIP and a 3.74 ERA, versus the year before in 2022 when he only did 16 games for the whole season and had an ERA of 4.8. So
I mean, he had 100 strikeouts and only 35 walks. I mean, that's to me pretty good.
Yeah, and you got to imagine how many times the closers probably messed up his game. So
don't leave men on base.
Yeah,
don't leave men on base.
True, very true.
It happens. That's fair.
All right. Any other Cubs Nuggets, boys?
I actually want to take the bet. We talked about it last week, and I have a little proposal.
All right.
Hold on. Let me just say. Okay.
I'm taking a bet.
I'm going to take a bet, but I'm going to kind of modify it a little bit here, because I know last week we talked about it, about how I said, the White Sox, and we'll do the Cubs, and I'll take the Cubs are going to win over, 90. I want to say 88 wins.
Okay, so they have to win over 88.
Right. If they win 88 in general,
so just split the difference, 89.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. All right. So they're gonna go over 88.
All right. So we're gonna bet a hat.
Fine. That's fair.
Okay. I like that bet. I like it. And it's the hat of your choosing.
Hat of your choosing, to be clear on it. So
yeah.
He wants a Cubs hat or an Astro hat. He likes to bang on drums. I'll give him nice Astro.
There you go. So yeah. All right. So yeah. So Cubs have to win more than 88 games. I think they could possibly do it. I believe in them. And when am I ever been wrong on this show? So.
Oh, that's so nice. Que lindo.
I can't say anything. I ate my words last year. So I thought I had it all good. All right, boys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some Blackhawks. The Mass on Madison this weekend was ridiculous, and Steven's going to give us his first take because he was there this past Friday. So we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back as soon as I can find these buttons on this screen here. I got too many buttons out here, man. Too many buttons. All right, let's hit here. Here's the graphic, and here is the button. Here we go.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Oh boy, back for the weekend. That's right. What is up? Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. We got Stevie-B. We got JC Dynasty Football. And we got another commentator. I know Israel's been on the thing a lot. We've got Berto J. Valdez saying, I hope Miguel Amaya can have a good season. And he agrees with Steven that the Cubs are going to go 90-72. Berto, if you want to take a bet with me, let me know. Hit the DMs.
I don't see an R in there. I think that's Beto. Mr. Valdez. Yeah,
Beto,
it looks
my
like
bad.
Beto.
I got
Yeah,
the light
man.
in my eye.
Ride the
It's time to
train.
go.
He got all that sunshine in his eyes. Look at him.
Ride the train. All right, boys. It's time to talk some hockey with the Blackhawks. And let me hit that sound. Let me hit that sounder. Here we go.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the Blackhawks had a great weekend as far as honoring one of their own in Chris Chelios. That it was a phenomenal ceremony.
Right.
I got a little clip on here. I think I'm gonna play this. Here we go. Here we go.
While we're on the subject of great ones from that era, I got to include him. This guy will go down as the greatest American-born player. Kaner, Patrick Kane, unbelievable.
Yeah, Chris Chelios came out in a black. I don't know what kind of car it was. A beautiful car. I don't know if it was a Cadillac, old school Cadillac.
It was the Kennedys' car looking.
Oh wow, that's probably why Kane did this at the end of the game.
Jones, shoot, save, rebound, save. Oh, look out to break it. A hit for Katsu. Patrick Kane, he's in. He scores.
And I want to talk about that too, but you start where you want to go.
On the ice he used to call home for 16 seasons. Red Wings a winner in overtime. In this building, he had 644 career points. One as a visitor. They call him Showtime for a reason. He was looking after this.
Yes, Showtime was at the UC. Kane put on a spectacular goal at the end to win the game. And they interviewed him.
Yeah.
It might have been on Friday, might have been on Saturday. And he said, if the Blackhawks would have called, I would have signed. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Kane?
Yeah.
With the team?
Yeah.
With the young kid?
Yeah, I kind of wish he would have came back, but that's that what if game.
Yeah, but you also had no idea what he was going to be like after hip surgery. He's come back pretty well, but there was obvious risk there with signing him to any large money coming off of hip surgery. So,
yeah, what is his contract?
Yeah, well, as Jose looks that up, I had the pleasure of going on Friday. I went with my mom, and I thought it was just going to be me and her going to the game. My mom usually hooks it up, and usually that's how I'm able to go to so many great games. Jose's been to a couple a Bulls game, a Bears game with me. When she's giving me the tickets, she gets it from her vendors, because she's been in the industry and her job for so long that they give her tickets. So she picks me up and it's snowing on Friday, of course. The one time I'm going to UC and it's snowing and I'm stuck in traffic or whatever. Anyway, so she picks me up. We park. If you do park in the lot 2000 Madison Street. It's easy. Get in, get out. Love that spot. Anyway, we go in there. She tells me, "Oh, I hope you're hungry because we're going in a suite." And I'm like, "Really? A suite?" She goes, "Yeah, I told you." So it's all her, people, vendors and stuff like that she buys from. Go in there, second floor, and I've never been on the second floor. And you made it when there's a toilet in the actual suite, and you don't have to go back outside. So that was really cool. All you can eat, all you could drink. I had a blast. The music, all punk rock, a little bit of emo. Yellow Card was playing. I did get to all I could eat and drink, but I got one of these.
What is that?
It's a Blackhawks cookie, and I didn't eat it yet because I wanted to show you guys what else I got from there. And me being Mr. Dangerous, I snuck out a beer. So it came with an actual bag. So it was in this bag. I put it at the bottom face down, some Garrett's popcorn on top of it, and then the 2 cookies. And then the lady looked inside, didn't see it. And
they checked your bag on the way out?
Yeah, they did, but they didn't see it. And my mom was like sweating. She goes, "Oh man, he's gonna get caught." No, didn't get caught. But I had a great time.
They're caught now.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's just one. I'll get they'll send me again.
Don't get mama in trouble. Mama got you. Don't get mama in trouble.
No, she had nothing to do with it.
It's kids like you that give our parents a bad name. Mama take you somewhere nice and you do that.
Well, I was drinking a lot of vodka that night. I swapped. I switched over. But you know what? I had a great time. They came back. They were down, a goal, then 2 goals, and then finally they scored. And I did take a video, like how JC said about the sound when they score a goal. So I did send that. I should have sent it to the group. I sent it to Jose. I didn't know if he was going to use it for the show.
When did you send that?
I sent it to you right like when we're doing the Cubs segment.
Oh, while I'm doing a Cubs segment?
Well, you weren't talking, so I'm like, let me just send it to him.
It's kind of hard to put this into the system.
Also, you could Bluetooth it in. There's that option, okay?
Is that what you want? You want me to Bluetooth it? Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah.
It was the first one or the second one? The first one?
The first one's good too.
All right, here we go. This is after we scored. A little Chelsea dagger.
There you go. Yeah, you hear my mom saying, "Let's go."
Mom, tell mama we love her.
Yeah, she's been on the not on the guest I know on the weekend, but she's popped in on occasion.
Mom has a guest on No Water in the Weekend.
No, we should not. We should have her on here because she's a big sports fan. But anyway, so it was a good time. But then when they got into overtime, we're getting ready to leave, just a couple of minutes. But they scored. Then we walked back in. We didn't leave the second floor yet. We go in 24 seconds into overtime. They lost. The Jets scored, and I was like, 24 seconds.
Oh yeah, you saw the Jets. Yeah, you saw the Jets.
I'm like, well, I got to have one more drink, drank it, and we left. But I had a good time. Again, it's entertainment. It's a good time, and people were there. Like it wasn't empty as much as I thought, but I had a great time. I wish I would have went on Sunday. Sunday would have been a great experience. I've been a Chris Chelios fan since I was a kid. I had his jersey number 7 in white and black. And then I've caught his hat at the 7th inning stretch from the Cubs when they would have the hats at 7th inning stretch, like Singer, toss it out. I've caught it over the rail. It's signed. It's in like a container. So yeah. Oh, and he apparently walked past our suite and I missed it. And I didn't get to meet my hero. So
he was doing like free autographs all week because my aunt Lulu, she actually got an autograph on a cap and took pictures with him. She got pictures with him.
He's a nice guy. Yeah, he's a very class act. Class act guy. I only hear nice things.
And I'm glad you said that.
He's laughing at me.
Well, let me tell you, I have had experiences with Chris Chelios. Not that great again.
Okay, you must have pissed him off.
Yeah,
you didn't talk about my hero.
No. Listen, like he signed a hockey stick for me once when I was younger, but it was at somewhere where he was being paid to do so. But like my dad, like your mom, used to get a lot of tickets from vendors as well from when he was working back in the 90s, and we used to go to games all the time. And this is the 90s where the place was empty, and you're sitting 4 rows behind the bench. You're sitting right at the glass where they go through the tunnel. Hey Chris, can you sign for us? Blah blah. Yeah. Meet me at Chelly's after. So he was just promoting his restaurant. Hey, come meet me over there, and I'll sign your stuff. Yeah, get out of here, bro.
I don't judge that.
I do.
I mean,
as a young fan, like you showed me nothing in the way of being whatever towards your fans, and you're telling them to come to your restaurant and spend money.
No, that's a personal experience.
I'll sign for you there, and then he would never show up anyway. So, look, I understand he was a great player for the Blackhawks and everything, but
I get it.
Like I said, to me, I could deal without him as a person. So
Maybe he's trying to fix that reputation now that he's
he's older. And here's that word that we talked about earlier.
For me,
he has
fellas.
humbled
Too late.
himself.
Too late. Too little. Too late.
That's our word of the day for you, JC. Humble.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about Cindy Crawford making
on the first try.
Yeah.
On the
that
first
was hot.
try.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. What was it? Not the Ricketts.
The worm was there.
Yeah. The celebrities were there that night, which was pretty cool.
I didn't show up. Jordan did a video thing again.
He had a death in the family.
He had a death in the family. That fool don't want to go to Chicago, man.
I think it was a relationship of his son and Pippin's ex-wife that died. I know he doesn't. I was just saying if that was a death in the family, that was the relationship. But I know he doesn't really care about that.
How do you guys feel? We know how JC feels, but how do you guys feel about Chelios getting his number retired? Because what I'm reading here is mixed feelings. There's an Aaron Hopp. I'm a Chelios fan, but this was not earned. Less than a third of his career in Chicago with no Stanley Cups, slap in the face to Brent Seabrook, 15 years and 3 cups for the Hawks. And then there's another one, only Luis Miller, only a minority opinion, but Chelios' career was not as good as another Hawk player that wore number 7. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I do think it's deserved. I mean, he, won Team USA for hockey. He also was an all-star. I forget how many years. He was a tough player. I think it was great for him to see. And, I think he deserved it. I don't know what the other player that gentleman's talking about, but I thought it was great. I think it was well deserved.
Number 7.
I think just because he's also homegrown, he was born in Chicago. He played for Chicago, and he said in his acceptance speech, it was the best 9 years of my life playing for the Blackhawks. You can't fault him for having a bad team for a decade.
Yeah, I was going to say that those 90s teams, it was not only that, you got to remember, like the Blackhawks were never on TV back then.
No, they weren't. That changed with the Sun.
They were on radio, or you had to show up to the games and participate. And like I said, as a kid, I can remember, like, again, there would be like empty rows of seats in front of you, and just like I said, you're 4 rows off the glass, and like there's nobody in front of you, nobody behind you, like no fan participation at all back then. So like I said, I give him credit as a player, as he definitely was a draw. I think it was him and Belfour, the goalie, were 2 of the big draws of those 90s teams.
Bronick.
But again, he rubbed me wrong as a young fan. Like I said, as a young fan, you're like, oh my God, like I'm so close. Like, can you just sign this? And it's like, yeah, come on. Whatever. I'm not going to harp on it anymore, but
JC's saying what he's saying is don't meet your heroes. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
Don't meet your heroes.
Listen, like I understand from a standpoint of, because this is going on with Micah Parsons right now on Twitter. Like all these people, like you got fans meeting you at the airport, like following you from here to your luggage claim. Yep. Which I'm sorry, if you're Micah Parsons, why don't you call the airlines and be like, hey, I need a personal, transport from the terminal to, they do it for all kinds of stars. So that's on Micah Parsons' fault. But from a standpoint of like, if you have a little kid, man, they're 9-10 years old, take the time out of your day to sign something. Now, if they start pulling stuff out of a bag and it's just signature after signature after signature, that's when you go, hey, look.
Yeah, cut you off.
Exactly. Like I've signed 2 or 3 items for you, but I really got to go. I got to take care of some stuff.
Three's extravagant.
You know what I mean?
There's a video out there.
You know what I mean? Like take a photo with a kid, take a photo, like I said, try and make it memorable for that kid. Right. You know what I mean? But
Well,
like
it
I
was
said,
memorable
yeah,
for me, so I don't know.
There's a video floating out there where Kyrie Irving had both his kids in his hands, or he was walking into the stadium, and his fan was just like, "Hey, sign, hey, Kyrie, Kyrie, Kyrie." He went over there, took a picture, and signed something for them. Like, he put the kids down, like, okay, and it was his own personal time. Like, he was in street clothes, the kids were wearing clothes, and then he went over there and signed. So I get what you're saying. I just thought of that, and I know my son Joel, my oldest, these are the little things that they'll go ahead and they'll point out to me, like, see, Kyrie's cool. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
It's also a different era because we're in a digital era where you can put that on, TV. It gets picked up by TMZ, and okay, now his reputation is ruined because he didn't sign for a small kid.
But he had his own kids in his hands, and he was like steps away. Yeah,
like
he was
I
far
said,
away. He was like turning into a tunnel or going somewhere. I vaguely
putting down
I remember him putting the kids down, and he was
like
like,
I said, you have professional, signature hunters, and like I said, I understand from that standpoint. You have to, you have to call it at some point and be like, listen, I will sign one item only, and a photo. And then I have to move on.
I gotta go.
Like
Right.
I have meetings, I have stuff, but I mean, like you try and sign as much as you can as
leave me alone.
Well, like I said, I mean, Cub spring training, like I've been there before, and like I said, you have all these kids that line up on a fence line, and the players come through and they sign as much as they can, and they keep moving. But at some
Get
point,
there early enough. It's like the DMV.
I'm just laughing at you see a bunch of kids and you pans over and there's me pushing them out the way.
I could see Steven doing that.
And you would be the person that I would be like, you ruined it for everyone.
And I'd be like, well, I got what I came for. See you later, suckers. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Yes, he would.
Yes,
he would.
Oh, my God.
Oh, did you still pee your pants? Oh, I'm just kidding. No, I would not do that. Oh, wait till you get in high school. You're not going to get picked on. So
there was a.
These are my Fortnite jokes.
There was
he's getting a wedgie.
You remember the Impractical Jokers? There was like a whole episode where like they were just stealing autographs from like throwing ball. I forget who the player was. It was like on the Mets, and like they just kept like stealing all these balls from like all these kids. Like and the player was in on it. Like he kept throwing it up towards the Impractical Joker, and the Joker would just like reach over kids and like catch the ball.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like at the home run derby where all the kids are out there and you see one of the kids miss it and gets dinged in the head. I think that happened last year.
Yeah,
something like that. That hopefully that kid's okay, but
I hope that kid's okay.
You gotta send a waiver. But yeah, so cool.
All right. I think we did enough hockey there.
Let's do that hockey stuff.
I think that's the most hockey we've done.
Yeah, we did do that hockey. So yeah, next week we do have a guest lined up. I don't want to say who yet because I want you to come back and tune in. We have another big guest coming in next week, so it'll be a good one. So remember to come back next week. We're going to take a small break, and then we'll come back with Stirring the Pot. Hopefully one of these fellas thought of something this week to stir the pot with. So we'll be back with stirring the pot. So hold on for a second till I press the right buttons, because, I'm over here doing 10 things at once.
Oh, I do it all the time.
You push all the buttons, Steven. All the
smash and subscribe.
There you go.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Thanks, Martin. Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z in the house. We got No Sweat Serg, JC, Fantasy Football, and Stevie-B from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. And it's that time of the show, fellas.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. Yeah. It's time for Stirring the Pot, baby.
Oh.
All right. Steven's segment got cut out last week, and he had some Oreos.
Oh, I actually got one better. So, I do have those, but I do like candy. Okay. I'm a big, gummy guy. Or back in the day, I know you guys remember. Gummies? No. Warheads.
Yeah. Warheads. Whoa. Isn't that like a hard candy? Right?
So yeah, it's
a hard candy,
hard sour candy, but at the same time, they're really good. I mean, they've had taffy and gum lately, and I'm like, I want the original things. I want the OGs. So they're really good. I mean, Serg is saying no already. Can't even get to a segment here.
I got some Warhead candy canes for Christmas.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, those sound great, but I have to break them in pieces. I can't just,
swallow it whole.
Same thing with my rule with ice cream cones. I gotta have ice cream. I gotta have ice cream because people look at you funny when you have ice cream on a cone. So
or on Warheads. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So I'm just saying it goes against my rule. I gotta break them.
2 weeks in a row, Steven. That's 2 weeks in a row, man.
I'm just saying.
You might be hinting at a couple things, man.
You want me to go grab my?
He has some fears. It sounds like.
All right. Well, those Oreo cookies aren't that great. They have like Pop Rocks in them, so it kind of ruins the flavor of it.
Oh, does it? I don't think that would be a good flavor. Does a Pop Rock actually pop in your mouth?
A little bit, yeah.
These conversations are getting bad.
Yeah. So I think next week we're going to talk about our favorite submarine sandwiches. I think that's what we should do next week if we're going to keep the ball rolling on that one.
Well, we do have a favorite sub place, Steven. We know it's over there on Grand. I don't want to say their name because I'm not going to plug them until they sponsor.
On Grand. Oh, yes.
Can I plug my sub shop?
I mean, are we going to get free subs or what?
Probably not. I doubt they listen to us. But Natoli's on Harlem Avenue. Great place.
Okay.
There was a place next to.
Send us a couple footlongs.
Dude, $10 footlongs, bro. It's way better than going to Jersey Mike's or any of the. I mean, how can you pay $20 for a sub nowadays? It's getting a little out of control.
It depends on where you go. I mean, I like Jersey Mike's, but
I like Jersey Mike's as well. But you get what is it? The Giant? It's like $18-19 now.
Wait, I can't eat a whole Giant.
Well, I'm
not even making these jokes on purpose, but you guys are taking them out of context.
Oh, this is great. This
is wild.
Like I said, I usually will order the Giant, and like I said, I'll usually eat like half before I go to work, and then the other half I'll eat like after work. So there's like an 8-hour period there between
digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a Witch fan, and I like Potbellies. So, but there was a place, and I remember, I think my mom used to take us down Western by Lane Tech. What is the name of that place?
Oh, that was Heroes.
It was Heroes. Okay, see, I didn't drift into some weird place and names. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Beto was saying his place is Mr. Submarine.
Yeah, they're not bad. They got good mozzarella sticks too.
It's a classic. You're gonna get exactly what it tastes like 20 years ago. You can't beat that,
Oh, Beto said the same thing, Mr. Submarine.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. He that's what he said on there. But they catered that last week for a meeting. It was Mr. Submarine, and I think I didn't get to eat that whole day, so I ate like maybe 4 whatever the small sandwiches are, whatever 2 or 3 inches, whatever. I was able to scarf those down.
Yeah,
so by the end you had a foot long.
You gotta hit all 800 of them steps, brother.
Oh, I average about 12,000 at work, so I'm all right.
You better get all them steps in there. This guy, but yeah, is Hero still there?
No, that closed a while ago.
All right. You see how long I've been
that
there?
closed.
Which
In
lost
Chicago.
it for me. I went
I'm
there
sorry?
by which.
I do like which.
So I went there and I got a buffalo chicken sandwich, but I don't know what they did, and it just was nasty. I couldn't even eat it, and that was like $12 down the drain.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's a chicken sandwich place in Niles that I need to check out called Nash Bros. That I've heard about. That's supposed to be like Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. So I want to check that out.
Potbellies is good though.
Potbellies is good. I've been really messing with Panera too.
We talked a lot of food today. What is your Potbellies order, fellas?
Oh crap!
If I'm gonna do Potbellies, it's gonna be probably the chicken sandwich, the grilled chicken with cheddar, and then I'll throw in some pickles, cucumbers, jalapenos, and then what else would I put on there? Oh, jardinera, and then the oils.
Yeah.
And pretty much mustard and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Potbellies, I think usually I'll just go with like a meatball.
Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
I usually get the wreck on wheat with everything.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You can't beat the wreck on wheat. It's so good.
No. With some chips,
Their chips are okay. I'm not a big fan of the chips. But
I don't go to Potbellies very often. To me, like again, I go to Jersey Mike's, or like I said, I go because the Natoli is like literally 2 blocks from me, and like I said, they're way cheaper at like $10 for foot long. And I'll usually
tag all these people on this. You got to tag them so we can get some sponsorships here.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll usually go with the spicy Italian, which has jardinera on it, which, like I said, perfect. Just light your mouth on fire, and you have to deal with it for like the next hour and going.
Oh yeah, many times. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
And it also doesn't help when you drink a Pepsi with it either, because like that just intensifies it.
You definitely need a cushioned seat or somewhere nice to sit after you eat that spicy sandwich. Let me tell you.
Oh man,
so you're gonna blow a gasket.
I like
turkey.
I'm a toss up between Italian but my favorite is the wreck.
Yeah.
And it's the turkey breast, hickory smoked ham, the Angus roast beef, the salami, the Swiss cheese, and then I add I'll add cucumbers, I'll add avocado, and then I'll add also
avocado, big spender. No wonder your sandwich is $20.
Well, your sandwich is $20.
I don't have
I know the lady behind the counter.
Avocado.
A brother's gonna get a $5 discount. And wisely, kids. You spend $20 on a sandwich, you better be feeding the whole family.
Has anyone tried Penn Station? Just curious.
No,
never heard of it.
They're like a Philly cheesesteak place. I was just curious if anyone's ever tried it.
I'm down to go.
Firehouse Subs is actually okay.
I appreciate
that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Yeah, like I said, Jersey Mike's to me, and that's
number 9.
There's no Firehouse Subs near me. Like
Melrose Park.
They're here.
Yeah, it's Melrose Park. Yeah,
it's too far.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
The only reason I go Melrose Park
Turkey's Club, so that's a good sign.
Hey, I'm there every Friday night. No, I'm just kidding.
The only thing that would make me go to Melrose Park anymore is like Gene and Jude's.
Yeah, that's really good too. That's
Franklin
right by
Park,
my parents' place. So I used to grow up eating that. So
that's fair.
Yeah. All right, boys, we exhausted Cubs talk. We talk about the Blackhawks. We talked a lot of food, and I think it's time to wrap this up, boys.
Yeah, I will be at the Bulls game on Tuesday, or the day this episode comes out. So buy me a beer if you see me there. So thanks.
I want to give a shout out to C-Red UK. Those they've been real nice to us, letting us use their content. And when I spoke to them earlier today, they were really nice guys. Dealing with them, and they gave us a thumbs up to use their content. So just want to give them a shout out today. They were pretty cool. So I'm going to send them a t-shirt. Hopefully we get one of their t-shirts. and I'd like to hear what they got going on over there too.
Yeah.
So
Let's connect with them, see if we can get them on the pod
Mhm.
in a couple weeks. We have a guest next week, so maybe in a week or two after.
I told them in the near future we'll hook up with them, but definitely want to give them that shout out. They were pretty nice guys.
Yeah, let's aim for the end of March because I don't want to.
My niece.
Nice,
my niece.
shirt.
That's a nice shirt.
Vanessa, good job.
All right, Steven, have a great time at the Bulls game. JC, I'm waiting for that fantasy football podcast to get launched. I know you're working hard on that. I know.
Yeah, I got to get you to do the AI artwork for me again. Now that I found out that the name I was going to use has been taken, I've come up with a new name. So
yeah, that happens.
Literally like 2 weeks.
It happens.
I hate Steven. So it's like, yeah, that happens.
It does.
I love it.
No Sweat Serg is coming out with a new podcast called I Talked to My Son.
Yeah, there you go. That's going to be it.
My son said, hey, whatever.
You know what? I'm going to give them all three of them credit. I mean, Xavier is my middle son, and it's funny because yesterday his mom says, "You can talk sports with your dad." He's like, "No, I can't. He's an old head." I sat there. I was like, "These son of a guns." It's not. You can bust out the buzzard, but they just have a different perception of how the game.
You know what?
These days.
Let's bring them on the podcast.
I'm good,
and we will have the debate of KD LeBron versus MJ Pippen.
Bro,
like
that'd be a good one.
They like Harden too.
Oh, Justin Fields says
the
LeBron.
Beard?
Oh my God.
They like
what
Harden.
What has the beard done in the past like 5-6 years?
I can't
just gets himself in trouble with women.
I call him
Yuck
Yuck Mouth. Yuck Mouth from the Warriors, the one that's been kicking people.
Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond Green. I call him Yuck Mouth. I can't stand him. But they love him. They love him.
They're trying to fix his persona. His appearance and all that. That's what he was on the All-Star weekend. He was doing all the interviews and all that. So they're trying to change his bad boy image.
Listen, bro, I think that's a little too far.
We'll bring the boys on. We'll bring them on one by one.
The horse is already out of the barn. It's too late to put the carriage on that. Serg, I think you should call it Serg and Sons, and then put the Sanford and Sons music as your theme music.
That'd be pretty cool.
Look here, dummy.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna ask them, but if you know what, if I don't, and they're really, they're really good with their parlays as well. And these kids will sit there and play with the parlays, and they will hit as well. And they'll give me some of their parlays too. We're sitting there watching games together, and sometimes you're just watching the game, and they'll put on a specific game. And I was like, oh, they're gonna go over, they're gonna go under. Oh no, I'm not doing that today. I'm gonna bet this. And I was like, man, these son of a guns, and they hit. And my oldest son has been hitting a lot. Like this fool has been over the threshold that he quit his second job. So he's been doing really well.
Why are these bets not being on the group chat?
Because I've been doing live bets. It's like ding, ding, ding. Remember when you said you tried to go in there? Remember when you tried to go in and try to grab that? Because I'm doing live bets and I'm doing it with these guys because they're like, hey, take this. And then when I say something, they're like, oh damn, you hit it too. I was like, all right, cool. So these guys know what they're talking about. But if I do it before the game, those are easier to give to you guys because but those are the ones that are not really hitting. The live bets, man, that's where that action is, So if we put something simple together, I'll probably put it together with them, and we'll put it on the show. Baseball's coming, so we're gonna love them over unders.
Baseball season's on its way.
So as soon as I learn how to use the switchboard over there, operator, I have no idea what I'm doing with that, but as soon as I get it going, I'll bring the boys on and they'll help me out. But that's not a bad idea, guys. I'm gonna have to bring these guys on.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that could be your podcast right there.
Hey, and my oldest son said, and he just texted me right now. He said Caleb is on his way, so just gonna I'm telling you, that's how these kids are.
All right, let's be honest. No, like next week we need to have a discussion on stirring the pot on whether or not these NFL prospects should be participating in the underwear Olympics.
What is it?
Because Caleb came out, he will not throw at the combine. Marvin Harrison Jr. will not participate at the combine. Who else? I think Jaden Daniels came out, said he will not throw at the combine. So it's like, you know what? Where is your competitiveness? Like all the scouts have come out and said that, you know what, we understand you have no like timing and whatever with these other players. We just want to see you come out here and throw. Like, we don't care if you complete the pass. We don't care. Just come out here and, you know, do what you do.
You know,
like all these guys are basically refusing to participate.
No.
He's trying to end the show with.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? You just like segued into something completely different.
No, and this is how it goes on No Other Weekend. So I'm glad it's happening to you, Jose.
I'm sorry. We'll say that for next week.
We're ahead of schedule. We're at hour 15. We're an hour 15. We still have 15 minutes.
But I prefaced.
He's right.
You did.
And the proper next week.
Generation has changed.
You know, this coming week is the combine, so
they're not going to do it.
You know,
they're not going to do it. They feel like they've already. You go pull my tapes. You already watched me play college ball or whatever.
Okay,
That's how they feel.
And I don't want to give my answer now. So we'll wait till next week. It is going to be a jam-packed episode. If the guest shows up, I'm pretty sure he'll show up. He's a good dude. He's also a top fan, so I'll be definitely outnumbered. So that'll be a great time. But thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go over there to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago. Use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That's TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup, the newest show. Well, actually, a veteran show of the 606 family. It is the No Water in the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean, and pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. New episodes Monday.
I guess whenever Sean's ready.
Yeah, whenever Sean. Well, Sean's busy. Sean's a busy man. He helped me. Shout out to Sean. He did help me out last night with some editing, which I still haven't finished. For a new show, the Intoxicated with Big Z, where I interview interesting people from all walks of life, and we get intoxicated with their life. So check that out. That should be out there at the a little Jim Carrey there. A little Jim Carrey. All right, so shout out to Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and custom made for the beats we played on today's audio version of the show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. Serg, it is at TCSF Pod on the Twitter. You got JC Dynasty FF on the Twitter as well. And then Steven Batista is on the No Water on the Weekend. Weekend is spelled how?
WKND.
He's so special.
Oh, special.
Yeah, that's right. You can find me at Big Z_606 Media on all my platforms. And if you want to email us about a stirring the pop topic or a baseball, basketball, football topic you want on the air, hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For the boys, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 184. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.